Welcome to the Seeker's Hollow. I'm Brian. This is episode 3 of Solo Dolmenwood Hunters of the Aldweald. Where we left off last time, we made our first foray into the forest, and we left out of Prigwort, and we came to this crossroads here in Hex 1206, and this is Hex 1206 right here, called the Baker's Dozen, and we just took an easy day, an easy stroll down the road. We didn't have any encounters and relatively nice and easy travel. And the party took an early rest, and they had a successful overnight camping, and also had one successful cooking. And so the party earned 50 XP each for the successful cooking, and then we got 500 XP each for entering the new hex. So I have noted that down on the character sheets. And then everyone also consumed one ration. And then I have a note here to remind me that when we get new rations, I'm going to write a date on them so that we can keep track of when 2 weeks has passed by on those rations, because that's when they go bad. And for the rations, I'm just putting an X here and checking them off, and just putting it like an X when the ration has been used. And that'll save me from having to erase the word all the time. So I'll just keep basically these 2 slots for rations. And I may end up keeping more slots for rations, but that's where we're at for right now. And now so now we're in day 2, and the day of the week is Chime. We are in Hex 1206, and we need to roll for the weather in this hex and see what weather we're going to get, which I believe is a 2d6 roll, and that looks like a 5. So let's see what 5 is going to be on our weather table. And we are in the spring. 5 is going to be brisk and clear, so we have no ill effects for that, which is always welcome. And we're going to want to do some foraging today. So let's put down brisk and clear, and it should be good weather for foraging. And if we spend the entire day foraging, then we can get a +2 bonus to our foraging check. So I think we're going to do that as we are here in the Baker's Dozen Hex. Now the terrain here is a tangled forest, and of course we're still in the Aldweald region. And we also have a 2 and 6 check for encounters. So let's go ahead and roll for the encounter as well. And that is a 6, so we're not going to get one. 2 and 6, I'm rolling, that would be on a 1 or a 2. You would get the encounter. And so now what we want to do is we want to forage, and we're going to look at the foraging rules here. And of course we get a +2 if we spend the entire day foraging. So we can get D6 rations in it looks like in the summer or the spring. And there's a 50-50 chance of a plant or a fungi, plus any special hex results. Now, if there were special hex results that we could get here, for example, like the arrow haim that we are going to be looking for in the next hex, that would be listed up here, but we're not, we don't have any in this hex. So we're simply going to make our survival roll, and of course we have a target number, and what you want to do is you want to take the highest survival that you have, which I believe is going to be Loblo, our hunter. He's got 5 in survival. Yeah, it's going to be him. So we need to roll a 5 or higher, but we have a +2 bonus, so we actually only need to roll a 3 or higher to succeed in our foraging. So let's try that. And we have got a 5, so that's very good. And now we can take a look at what our foraging result is going to be. And we also get, we're going to get 100 XP each for the foraging. So I will note that down and fill that in at the end of the session. or a little later on. So let's look at the foraging results. So we're going to roll a 1d6 to determine if it's a fungi or a plant. 1 to 3 would be fungi, and 4 to 6 would be a plant. So we got 4. This is going to be a plant, and we're going to roll a 1d20 to see which edible plant we're going to get here. And that's a 2, so we're going to get the bent leek. These are wild vegetables with narrow, lank leaves that droop 2 to 3 feet across the ground. They have a strong garlic flavor, okay? And that's going to give us 1d6 rations, 1d6 fresh rations. So we're going to get 5 fresh rations from the foraging. And we can go ahead and make a preserving roll. This is kind of a skill that I've sort of made up. And with preserving, you can convert the rations into fresh rations. And we're just going to use the survival skill for this. So Loblo is going to use his 5 survival, and since we're taking the whole day, I'll also give him the +2 bonus. So we just need to roll again a 3 or higher here, and we got a 1. So unfortunately, we're only going to get 1 ration, and the other 4 rations will be wasted. So we can give 1 ration to someone, and I guess we'll give. We'll just let 7 have another ration, so we'll erase 1 of her used rations. But unfortunately, we only got 1 ration out of that because we failed our preserve roll. So not the full benefit that we could have got from that. And we are going to be a little bit low on rations after another night of camping. Now, we have taken our full day for foraging, so we're going to go into camping now, and so we'll have Loblo and Samwise. They're going to go off and get firewood. So let's see how much firewood we get, and we're going to have all right. So we got 9 firewood. That's going to give us 9 hours, and 7 has prepared to camp and laid out the bedrolls and all the tents, and then we are now going to see if we can do a cooking roll. And for cooking, we're going to check wisdom. And who was our highest wisdom again? Okay, it was Samwise. He has a +2. So we just need to get a 4 or higher here. And we got a 3, so we did not succeed on the cooking. And then for the camaraderie, we can do a charisma check with 7, and she gets a +1. So she just needs to roll a 5 or higher, and she might be able to sing a song for them or something like that. But it didn't work, so we don't get successful cooking or camaraderie. Not terribly important in terms of having a successful night of camping, because we're not worrying about adverse weather or cold weather or anything like that. So we have no problem with making a fire without any checks. And we can actually sleep through the night without any checks as well. But we can do a check to see if the characters sleep on watch. And I'm honestly not sure if I want to do that check every camp. I think that's a good rule to use if your characters are exhausted, possibly, or maybe if you're in adverse conditions. So I think in good conditions, I'm not going to do that check, but we do need to make a check for the nighttime encounter. So let's see if we have any encounter at night. And this is going to be a 2 and 6 chance. And that's a 6, so we're good. If we had got a 1 or a 2, then we would have had an encounter during the night. So we get through the night okay, and everyone is going to use 1 ration. So that's going to leave 1 left for 7 here. And right now, Loblo and Samwise do not have any rations right now, so they're kind of in a tough spot there, and we might want to do foraging or fishing. Maybe we can do some fishing. We could actually stay in this hex and just do some fishing. So let's take a look. If we decide to go fishing, we have to be near a lake or a river. So I don't know if we are actually near a lake or a river right now. And let's take a look. We are not, so we cannot do any fishing, but we could do some hunting if we wanted to. So let's see if we can meet the requirements for hunting. And so if we decide to hunt, we can creep up on game animals as they travel. And we've got a chance of stalking. So we use a survival check to see if we are successful. And again, if we devote an entire day, we get a +2 bonus. And if the check succeeds, then the party has stalked and crept up on game animals. So, okay, let's decide. Let's stay in the hex today, and let's decide to hunt and get some more. Try to get some more rations. So let's look at finding food. Now I do have lots of aids and things that could help me to do this, but I also would like to follow along in the book a little bit until I know these things very, very well. So for hunting, we would actually have a combat. We'd attempt to kill the animal, and that would be considered a normal combat encounter. So, okay. So we're just going to do a survival check here to see if we can pass this. Now we're going to get a +2, and then we also have a 5 survival with low blow. So yeah, right here he's got 5. So all we need to do is roll. We just need to roll a 3 or higher here, and we've got a 3. Okay, so we were able to successfully track down an animal, and now we're going to have to roll for which animal we've got. Now we are in the tangled forest here. So we're going to roll a d20 on the tangled forest chart. Let's see what we get. And we've got a 3, which is going to be a gelatinous ape. And there would be 1 d12 of a gelatinous ape. So let's roll a d12 for that. And there's going to be 7 gelatinous apes are out there, and that sounds like a lot. That might actually be pretty dangerous in terms of something that we could actually fight here. Let's see. So we found out what our animal is going to be, and we've crept up on the animals, and we can attempt to kill them. This is handled as a normal combat encounter, but we do have surprise. And we begin the encounter 1d4 times 30 feet away from the quarry. So we roll a 1d4, and that is a 1. So we are just 30 feet away from the quarry, so we're very close to them. But we do have surprise, and the animal that we are looking at is the gelatinous ape. So let's take a look at those. And I have a feeling they're going to be somewhat tough to deal with. I don't know. Okay, so these are hairless and brightly colored transparent apes that are 3 feet tall. They creep through the trees and the undergrowth, and they are gentle-natured and show great kindness to lost travelers. Their jelly-like flesh is sweet and chewy. Okay, so maybe they're not so ferocious after all. And we can see that, so I guess we are going to try to attack them. We have to get a sense of what we can successfully hunt here. Maybe due to the fact that we have the surprise here, we might be able to do a little bit of damage to them. So we've got 7 of them, and they're going to have 2d8 hit points. So let me roll up their hit points here really quick. All right, so we've got all 7 of our gelatinous apes here, and we can start our attack. So with the surprise on them, we're going to get 1 round to attack first. All right, so because of a surprise, we're going to skip right through the initiative roll. We don't need to do that because we've already got it, and we're not going to be rolling any reaction because we are hunting and stalking these animals. So obviously we are trying to kill them and get their rations. So we'll go ahead and go for an attack, and I think for we're going to declare for 7 that she is going to use her fairy rune of vanishing, and that's going to make her invisible to all mortals. Once her turn comes around, she'll be able to do that, and that's mostly just going to be to protect her because I don't think she's going to be trying to dish out any damage here. And now we'll get into movement. So we are only 30 feet away, and so we're going to have we're also going to declare a charge for Samwise. He's going to charge in, and that's going to give him +2 attack and -1 AC as he charges in. And so for our movement, we've got our charge there, and then we're going to go into the missile attack for Low Blow. So Low Blow is going to do his missile attack, and he's got a +2 to his attack, where he's going to use the short bow. And because it's a short range, he's also going to get another +1. So he's going to have a total of +3 to his missile attack here. And the AC of the ape is 11, so we're going to have to beat an 11, which shouldn't be too hard because we've got a +3 bonus. So let's see if he can get his short bow attack here. And that's a 13, so that's going to be okay. That would actually be a 16 with all the bonus there. And now we're going to roll for damage, which is going to be a 1d6 +1. And that's 5 + 1 is 6, so that's going to be 6 damage. The +1 is coming from missile attack bonus as a ranger, I believe that's where it's coming from. So 6 damage hit, and we'll just go ahead and have that apply to the first ape here, which is going to be, that will be a kill there. So we got a killing blow on that one. And then now we're going to go into magic. So 7 is going to disappear now, and she hasn't been disrupted or anything, so that rune is going to go off, and now she is invisible to the apes. And we need to see how many rounds that's going to be. Probably have to roll for that. So let's check how many rounds that'll be first. So that's going to be 1d3 rounds and a range of 60 feet. So she's well within range. And we're going to roll a 1d3. So 3 rounds. Okay, that's good. And now we're going to go with a melee. So we've done our we can have 1 charge per combat. So Samwise is charging in. He gets +2 to attack, but also -1 to AC for the remainder of the round. And he's going to just attack the next ape here, and we'll have him roll for his attack. So what's his total bonus is going to be? He's going to have +4, 5, 6. He's going to have a +6 bonus here, so that's pretty good. And 11, okay, so that would be equal to 17, I believe. So that's a pretty good roll there. And he's going to get 1d8 +3 for his damage roll, which is pretty nice. And 3, so that's going to be a 6. So we've got 6 damage to ape number 2 here. So a pretty good hit on him. And now that I think that's going to complete our turn there. The monsters are going to need to check morale because they have lost they've had their first loss. So they need to check for morale. So it's going to be a 2d6 roll here to have them check. And their morale score is a 7. So they need to roll under 7. And that is a 4. And so that means that they're going to keep fighting. All right, so that's going to complete the first round of combat against the gelatinous apes. And we now need to roll initiative for the second round. And of course, this time they will be able to attack. So we're going to roll. The apes are going to be the red die here, and will be the white die. And that's a 3 and a 1, so the apes do win, and the apes will attack first. And we'll just have the apes kind of probably, let's see, we could do 2 on each. Yeah, there's going to be 2 on each, but because the apes cannot see 7, so there's going to be 3 apes on each of the on Samwise and on Low Blow. And so they're going to move in and attack. Let's look at their movement. So their movement is 50, so they can move up to half. So they can move 25 feet, and we started at 30 feet. So that's going to mean that the other 5 are not going to be in range this turn, but the one that is attacking, the one that was attacked by Samwise is in range, so that one is going to be able to attack right now. So he is going to let's see what attacks he's got. He's got Thrown Branch, and I don't know if that's a ranged attack. It kind of sounds like it, but I don't see what the range on that would be. Yeah, I don't see any range for that, but maybe they just get really close and throw the branch at you, I guess. And they get a +1 on that attack, and it does 1d4 damage. So he's going to roll for his attack now to hit. Samwise is going to have to beat 17 AC, so it's going to be pretty tough. He's going to have to roll at least a 16 here. And that's a 15, and he got a 16, so he did do it. Or no, sorry, he actually would have had to roll a natural 16, so he's just 1 below. So he just narrowly missed on that. Okay, now we're going to have our turn. And we've still got 2 more rounds of invisibility for 7. So 7 is going to be invisible for 2 more rounds. And Low Blow is still at least 5 feet away from the nearest, so he can still do another range attack here with his short bow. And we'll just have we'll just have him do that. So we're going to roll for his ranged attack here with the short bow, and should be pretty much the same as last time. He's going to get a +2, and that'll be a +3 for the short range. And that's going to do it with a 16. He just has to beat AC 11. And now we'll roll for damage, which is going to be 1d6 + 1. And that's a 4, so that's going to be 5 damage. And we'll just have him shoot the... one that is next to Samwise. So that one is down. And now Samwise will just shimmy over to number 3 and make an attack there. If he can do that, actually. I don't know if he can do that. So movement would come first before melee. So maybe we shouldn't have him... we'll just have him attack. The arrow will go to number 3, and Samwise is still going to deal with this guy who's got 4 left. Because he can't... He would have to do his move before he does his attack, so... Alright, so we still need to do 4 damage to this one. Samwise is going to roll for his attack. And that looks like a 10, and with his bonuses... that's still probably going to be enough, I think. He's going to get a +3 or a +4 bonus here. Yeah, he's going to get a +4 bonus to his attack. So that is going to be enough to hit AC 11. And so now we'll do 1d8 +3 damage. And, oh, that's an 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's a really good solid hit. We only needed to do 4 damage, but that's great. So we've got 2 are down, and we've got 1 pretty well wounded. And 7 is just going to keep hanging out, at least probably until next round. And now we're going to roll initiative again, so the apes will be the red initiative again. And we got a 6 this time, so we do beat the apes, and that's very welcome. So now we will movement. We're going to do movement first. So we're going to have Samwise move into range of number 6 here. So he's in range of number 6. It should only be roughly 5 feet away anyway. And then we're going to go to missile attack. So I think low blow should be able to do a missile attack again here. And so let's roll for low blow's missile attack. And that's a 13, and that's going to be 15, so that's going to hit. And he'll just go after this same ape here, and we're going to roll for damage, 1d6 + 1. And that's going to be 4, so that will be enough to finish him off. And if we can defeat 1 more ape, that would be half of their apes, and so then they would probably need to make another morale check at that point. So let's have Samwise attacking number 6. Let's have him roll 14. It's going to be well over the AC of 11 with all the bonuses. And let's roll for damage. Oops, that's the wrong one. I need to roll a 1d8 for his damage. And that's going to be a 3 plus 3, I believe. Yep, so that's going to be 6 damage. So pretty good blow there, getting him down to about half. And now the apes are going to get to attack. And so we're going to have 2 apes are going to run onto each person. Of course, not counting 7 because, again, she's invisible. Although she will be down to her last round after the apes attack here. So the first ape is going to attack Samwise. So let's roll for the first ape's attack. And he got an 8. He he gets a +1 bonus, so that's a 9, and that's not going to hit through Samwise at 17. Second ape, he gets 11. That's going to be a 12, so that will not hit through Samwise's AC. And then now they're going to attack low blow. And what is low blow's AC here actually? Let's see. Kind of armor. I think he has got leather, right? Leather. So leather is going to be 12, I believe. And then he's going to get a +1 for dexterity. So we're looking at 13 there. Yep, leather is 12. So this ape needs to roll at least a 12. And he got a 16. Okay, so that's a good hit. That's a good roll for the ape. And now the ape is going to roll, I believe it's 1d4 damage. So let's roll the ape's damage. And he got a 3. So that's going to be 3 damage to low blow. And low blow only has 4 HP. So he is now down to 1. And that's pretty dangerous there. And I think we still have one more ape to go. And that is a 3, so oh man, we're really lucky there. So low blow is not going to get hit the second time, and low blow is in a bad spot right now. I think we might even have low blow retreat possibly, but we got to roll initiative, and let's hope that we don't lose the initiative here. Oh, we roll that again, and oh yeah, we did lose the initiative, so this could be pretty ugly. So let's have them attack Samwise first. It'll be 2 attacks against Samwise, and that's a 4, so that's not going to get through. And then that is a 15, 16 with the bonus, so that will not get through. And then the other apes are going to attack low blow, and that is a 9, so that will not get through. Come on, low blow. 7. All right, so that's not going to get through. So low blow survives, just barely survives. We're down to 1 round of invisibility left for 7, and we're going to go into our movement here, and we're going to have 7 move up behind. We're going to have 7 move up behind one of the apes that is on low blow, and so she's standing right there behind him, and she's preparing to just hit him over the head with her club or her staff. I think she's got a club. So she's just standing behind, preparing to hit. And Samwise is going to attack the one that he was still on right here. And that's a 4, so even with his bonuses, he's not going to hit, unfortunately. And now low blow is going to attack the ape that he is on. And oh, he got an 18, so that's going to be a good hit there. So he'll get to roll 1d6 for his short sword. And that's a 3. So low blow is on number 4 here. So he's done 3 damage to that one. And now 7 is going to come out of her invisibility to attack, and the enemy will get a -2 attack penalty against her for the next round. So she will roll to hit with her weapon, and I got to remember what weapon she's got. So she has a club or a dagger, and let's see what her. So she's got 1d4 damage with either one. So we'll just go with the club and try to hit one of these guys. And I don't know if she gets any attack bonus due to being invisible. I would kind of think that she would possibly, but let's see. Of course, she will come out of the invisibility as soon as she makes the attack, but Oh, okay. I was confusing the lesser rune of vanishing with the vanishing one. So the rune of vanishing actually only lasts for one turn. So she would actually not be invisible anymore. She would have only been invisible for one turn. And there isn't any attack bonus to that anyway. So vanishing, she would have been invisible for the 3 rounds like we rolled, but she can only be invisible for one creature. So, all right, we kind of did that wrong. So we will just have her attack, but she's not going to get any invisibility. There's not going to be any penalty or anything. And so let's see if she can get off an attack here. And she's rolling 8, so that's not going to do it. And then that will be the end of the round there. And now we're going to roll initiative again. So let's roll initiative here. And 3 and a 2. Okay, so we did win, and that's very, very lucky. Let's see if Samwise can pull off this attack here. We really need him to pull this off so that we can get them to have a morale check. And he got a 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so he's just got the successful attack. And we need to get some decent damage here. He needs to do at least 4 damage. And, oh, right, very nice. So, oops, that's the wrong die. I keep rolling the wrong one. So, come on. All right, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's going to be 9 damage. And that will finish off. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be 4 of the apes that are finished off. So they do need to make a morale check at the end of this round, at least. So Samwise will finish that. And then Low Blow is going to go for an attack with his short sword. And he got a 4. That's not going to be good enough. And then 7 will go for an attack with her club. And she got a 9, which is also not going to be good enough there. And now we've got, let's say we've got, we've got 1 on, we will have 1 on each person. So we got 1 on Low Blow, 1 on 7, and 1 is on Samwise. So let's have 1 roll for an attack on Samwise. And, 19. So he is going to hit Samwise because his AC is 17. So let's hope this is not a hit for 4. Okay, you got a hit for 1. That's not too bad. So here is Sam with his little 4 HP. He only got hit for 1, thankfully. All right, now we're going to try to hit Low Blow. 10, 11. Okay, that's not going to hit. And then they're going to go for a hit on 7 and 16. That is going to hit. And hopefully this doesn't kill 7. Oh, we need to roll a 1d4. And that's a 3, so 7 is also down to 1. So both 7 and Low Blow are at death's door just about here. Okay, now though, the apes do need to make a morale check, so they're going to roll 2d6, and they need to roll under 7. And that's a 5, so they do roll under, unfortunately, and that means they're not going to be retreating or giving up. And I think that Low Blow and 7 are going to have to retreat because this is just too close for comfort here. So we're going to need to declare our retreat here. And all right, so we can run at 3x movement to flee combat. So I guess we're probably going to have everybody flee. I think Samwise could probably stay and try to fight them off, but I don't know. It's going to be pretty tough. So I think we're going to have everyone flee. And so they're going to get 3x movement speed. So their movement speed is going to be 90, I guess. All right, so all of our characters are fleeing here. And yeah, we can flee at a speed of 90 feet, which is faster than at least the basic speed of the gelatinous ape. And so we're going to have the apes make a reaction roll. And based on that reaction roll, we can see if the apes are going to continue to attack us or not. So let's see if they will pursue. So we've got our reaction table here. So we'll roll a 2d6, and that is 11. So it seems that they are indifferent. So they simply stand and watch us run, and it seems that they're not necessarily looking to chase us down and kill us. And they're probably considering their own losses as well, because they did lose 4 of their apes. So they're probably not quite vicious enough to want to go and chase us down and kill us, even though they probably could. So we will flee that combat, and we're in pretty rough shape here. And we're not going to get any of our spoils because we had to leave them behind, although I guess it's possible that we could try to sit on the side and maybe come back and get the spoils. Let's see if that's something that we could do. I think we can roll an oracle here and see if we can come back and get the spoils. So can we come back and get the spoils from the 4 dead apes, which is just going to be rations? And that is going to be a no. So we were not able to get any of the spoils. Either the apes stayed in the area and we were too afraid to go back in there, or the spoils were taken by something else, or we just couldn't find them. So that battle went pretty poorly for us. Before I close that, though, we do get some experience for beating 3 apes. So let's see how much experience that will be. So that's going to be 60 experience each for the 3 apes. And now we're going to have to lick our wounds here because we've taken some pretty heavy damage, especially 7 and low blow. They're not in good shape. So when we come back next time, we will see about healing, camping, or maybe even going back into town if we need to do that. So thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Take care.